Welcome back to the GOA YouTube in 2026. We're starting the new year off swinging by talking about everyone's favorite, drumroll please, defunding the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Today, I'll break down what the new funding bill is and what you can do to make sure that Sen Banderson doesn't get a single dollar more than he should. Hi, I'm Ben Sanderson, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. Before we get into the video, I wanted to take a second to talk about GOA's 50th anniversary. It's been an amazing 50 years of no compromise, and we're not stopping anytime soon. So be sure to be on the lookout for special events this year to celebrate our history and to look to our future of protecting gun rights. Okay, now back to the video. So earlier this week, both the Senate and House Appropriation Committees released a massive funding bill ahead of the government shutdown date, February 1st. This deadline is important to note, as that means Congress only has about 3 weeks to get the entire federal government funded. So the pressure is on from both the American people and congressmen. Now there's a whole lot of government projects and funding in there, but what we're interested in is the section on the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, salaries and expenses. This section is a top-line summary for how much money the ATF is going to be given and any specific way that money should be spent. As you can see here, the ATF is going to be given $1,585 million for the next fiscal year. While this is $40 million less than last year's budget, it's not remotely close to the cuts that the Trump administration asked for. Earlier this year, the Department of Justice put out their budget request, aka how much money they wanted to ask Congress for in order to run the ATF. In this document here, you can see the total amount requested was $1,207 million. That request would have been a $400 million cut to the ATF's current funding. Now in the grand scheme of the $7 trillion total government budget, that doesn't sound like a lot. But let's take a closer look at that number. The $417 million cut would have been over a 25% cut to the previous year's budget. That's wiping out a quarter of the ATF's current operating budget, meaning they'd really have to tighten their belts around there. On top of this massive monetary cut, the DOJ also proposed a massive staffing cut. The proposed budget would have eliminated 1,465 positions. That means less ATF agents running around and targeting law-abiding gunners for paperwork mistakes. That means less bureaucrats to think up crazy ideas of what to ban next. That means a weakened federal bureaucracy. This is exactly what gun owners expected from this administration and the Department of Government Efficiency. The massive budget cut gun owners won last year has proved that any funding decrease to the ATF will not have disastrous public safety impacts. So instead of the budget cut that the president asked for, this new cut would only be about $40 million. Now to you, me, and every other normal working person in America, this sounds like a lot of money. But again, this is Washington, D.C. math. That $40 million is just 10% of what the White House wanted to cut. And it's just about 2.5% of last year's ATF budget. While less money going to the ATF is always a good thing, there's no chance that this 2.5% cut will be anywhere as impactful as the 25% cut that the administration proposed. This administration started off strong, cutting federal waste and removing bureaucracy from Washington, D.C., and slashing the budget and staff for an agency who has been weaponized against the American public is the perfect target for continued cuts. Congress should be standing with these cuts to a harmful agency rather than cutting a fraction of the costs. That's why we need your help. And you can do so by calling your senators and congressmen at 202-224-3121 and telling them to fulfill the president's budget request and slash the ATF's budget, rather than this meager cut. Now, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with GOA's latest fights for your rights.